In this video, we're going to do a variation of problem 8-2. We're going to compare a money market hedge with a traditional forward market hedge. We're told that we have a 250 million yen payable in yen due in 3 months. We're given an 8% annual US interest rate, a 7% annual Japanese interest rate. We're told that the spot rate for yen is 105 yen per US dollar, and we're given a forward rate of 100 yen per US dollar. We're going to begin by taking a look at our money market hedge. The first step is we need to find out the present value of our yen obligation. So we owe $250 million in 3 months. What's the present value of that? We simply take the $250 million and discount it back at 7% for 3 months, and we find the present value of that is 245 million yen. If we were to convert that today at today's spot rate of 1.05, that means we would need to set aside or spend 2,340,000 US dollars today. So that's our first step in our money market hedge. We're going to go ahead and buy yen in the spot market, and that's going to cost us $2,340,000. We're going to, of course, receive 245 million Japanese yen. We don't want to just sit on that. We're going to invest it somewhere. We're going to invest it in a money market instrument at that 3% interest, the 7% interest for 3 months. And so our total cash flow at time zero right now is the 234 million US dollars going out. The yen transaction is a wash. In 3 months, when that money market instrument matures, or we redeem it or take the money out, we will have exactly 250 million yen, and we can use that then to pay our Japanese yen invoice, and our net cash flow at time 1 is 0. So we've satisfied this 3-month yen obligation risk-free by spending $2,340,000 today. If instead we wanted to use a forward market transaction and we wanted to set aside sufficient cash today to meet that obligation, the question would be, how much do we need to set aside? So we're going to begin. We need the 250 million yen in 3 months. We're told the forward rate we can lock in right now is 100 yen. So the amount we're going to need in US dollars in 3 months is simply the 250 million divided by the 100, or 2.5 million US dollars in 3 months. Of course, we don't need that now, but we need that in 3 months. How much will we need to set aside now? We simply discount that back at the 8% annual interest rate for 3 months, which means today the present value of that obligation in US dollars, if we were to use a forward rate agreement, would be $2,450,980. So what do? We need to set aside that money today. We're going to put that money into some sort of money market account. So we're going to invest it. So we've got a cash outflow of $2,450,000. What happens then? At time 1, that 2.4 million will have grown to 250 million US dollars. We, of course, we're going to need to purchase Japanese yen. So we're going to spend that. We've locked in the price. We're going to spend the 250 million US dollars in order to receive 250 million Japanese yen, and then we will use that to pay our invoice. And notice our time 1 cash flows all sum to 0. So our final question is, which way do we want to go? Well, using a money market hedge, we would have to set aside $2,340,000 today. To do a forward rate hedge, we would need to set aside $2,450,000. So clearly, the money market hedge is the cheaper of the two hedges. Our next question is, at what forward rate would we be indifferent? At a higher forward rate, we wouldn't need to set aside as much money today. So what we want to do is figure out how high would that forward rate be for us to be indifferent between the two. We will be indifferent if that 250 million yen is equivalent to the $2,340,000 today. But again, the 250 million yen is a time 1 cash flow. The 2,340,000 is a time 0 cash flow. They need to be happening at the same point in time. So we're simply going to find the future value of that $2,340,000 if we put it in a money market account for 3 months. And whatever that amount is, times our forward rate, which is what we're going to solve for, will equal the 250 million yen that we need. In solving for that forward rate, we get 104.74. And we can sort of prove that's the case by going back up top, and let's put that in for our forward rate. We won't get the exact number here, but we can put in 104.74, and we can see both of those basically would cost us the same in today's US dollars.